Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we are going to be abandoning Golgari. Who would have thought? Me. Abandoning Golgari. We played Jund, we played Golgari. Now we're just going to play Rakdos. We're going to see what it has to offer and what it doesn't have to offer, and some of the issues and maybe some of the benefits playing Rakdos over other color combinations. And this is our list. Main thing we're trying to do is play the same strategy as we would with a Golgari's type deck in terms of playing a lot of 1, 2, and 3 drops and then leading into our bigger stuff in the end game. But we're going to hop into the games. Before that, though, I won our store championship. I got the cards. I got the Lier, and I got the Dark Petition. I know it's a little bit hard to see. I might just pull up a picture on screen, but I won a store chip at the Apex Gaming store championship. So it's got Apex Gaming on it. Very cool. So I won that playing Boris Humans, if you're interested at all. If not, skip ahead, of course. But if you like my content, please be sure to subscribe. I hope you all do, and we'll just get out there and play the games. Oh, we basically have the Wombo combo here. I kept before even like really justifying keeping my hand. We'll lead off with the Cliffs because Cliffs and the mountain into Haunted Ridge is all on tap mana. Alright, so I think we have a lot of Monstrous Rage double striking shenanigans we're gonna have to worry about here. Yeah, we sure do. We sure do. I think the Picnic Runner is probably the most fearful. Obviously, this Monstrous Rage is kind of scary. I guess Monstrous Rage is the only thing that really enables all this. So let's just take it. The thing we're going to have to worry about, though, like really have to worry about, is the green card if we were trying to use spot up removal. Royal treatment. Yeah, that card. We'll do this. Technically, we have to worry about Surge's Salvation too. Not like normally. Normally, that's not something we'll have to deal with. But we'll gain life because worst case scenario, we lose our bat. We want to have a cushion of life total here. There's Virtuoso. It's becoming a tough day, that's for sure. Let's play Gix. Drawing a lot of lands here. Play Gix. Let's get this bat to attack. Let's draw with Gix. This is kind of the Wombo combo that you can kind of get going with these two. Let's play basic mountain to kind of preserve that life total a little bit. We're going to plus here, get rid of the springs.
We all have things we
Discard another Virtuoso. They've drawn 3 of those. Your deck's pretty good if you draw those. Now, this attack, that's a sorcery. Attack on Liliana. Do I care? I think on Liliana, no. I think I just let it go.
You know,
I have so much better action in hand. I know I could keep hitting their hand if I wanted to. But I don't think it's necessarily required because I do also have a 5/5 first striker myself. I will go to combat. Let's double attack here. Monstrous Rage. No. Okay. We get that trade for free. It was an argument if I play that, do I bat them and take their card? So now we're definitely going to bat considering we have 2 more. But we're going to look at their hand and then we're going to bat again, look at their hand. But that attack was to either pull like a royal treatment out if we could, so then we could that and take the last card, or they would just let it hit, we draw, and then we would just play a bone horde. But them having 2 cards and one of the draws being another bat, then we're just going to play bat, take both their cards, put them in top deck mode if we can. Go first. We have double lands that are good. We play 25. We have double removal. I mean, I think this is like reasonable to keep. Got like turn 1 play, turn 2 play, maybe a turn 3, and if we draw another land, we got a turn 4 play. We'll just palm that out of the way. No reason to let that get going, especially with cut down going to be losing value as the game moves on. If they play the best card in their deck here, we'll definitely get rid of it. Arguably, what's their best card in their deck? I would say it is that guy, the Naturalist. Reduction is sick. All right, we go run around our land here. That's sweet. Play Gix. We'll probably try to attack with it. Maybe they'll play Naturalist. They don't have a basic to ossification onto. Play Visitor, then play Security Companion. Sure. Gix will still most likely attack here because this is 3 power in total, and if they double block, then great. If they don't double block, then sure. I assume there's going to be no block, or maybe a dog block. Spirited Companion, I would imagine. Double block we take. We are the slower deck of the two, so we'll take that, then this into this. Now other Spirited Companion draws take more life. They have 2 brush lands, but they should be fine with the mana play there. Now I do not know what that does. You start enchantment you control that doesn't have the same name as another permanent you control. Create a tokenless copy of it, except it's legendary. It isn't legendary. If token it is an aura, untap it, scry to activate only as a sorcerer. Very cool. Very cool. So we're gonna play Preacher. I'm at least glad to see that the enchantment decks are kind of changing up what they're doing a little bit, not just like this is normally just a Calyx, but it's kind of cool to see a different creature in the list instead of kind of playing the same game every time. As I'm playing Rakdos with Shieldreds in it, like leave me alone. I do have bone. I have the Bone Horde. I have the big dumb dino, big goofy boy. Thing that will actually help us keep up. Although they haven't hit a basic yet, so if they have ossification in their hand, this game is definitely skewed a little to that for sure. If they're playing like a higher enchantment deck, an attack here, no blocks. I think that's an attack to get me to trade off my threat. And we're not gonna do it. So here screams and Gonjo to me, but I'm getting in. No? Yeah. All right. Now, I'm playing Bone Horde here, and the reason why is because on their upkeep they're going to 2, and like your argument could be, oh, what if they Sunfall you? Why would you play all this? We have a backup plan. We have a Shieldred that we can play. I think there's only 1 flash enchantment that I'd have to worry about. That's Seal of Existence, but we haven't got a pause yet, so I don't think it'd be played. And if it was going to be played instead of Sunfall, it's going to take out this Bone Horde. That weirdly has first strike. Big boy. Who knows? Audacity coming in. That does not have first strike. That has I'm really big. 8/6. I think we're just salting off. I'm unsure. This is cool. I do think Yenna, or yeah, I do think this is really cool. It's just like, I do think the way that game changed is that double block. I don't know what their hand was. I would assume that these have to be ossification. There's no basic, because to not have like any other lower to the ground costs, unless it were lands, I guess, but it's what it is. Okay, we go first, and you probably couldn't ask for a better time to have 3 black cleave glyphs in your opener. Like, do you want to just have 3 multicolored lands that enter untapped on your first 3 turns and deal no damage to you? Well, here you go. Red, black, the Boros. Probably what we want overall. I think creature decks is where we want to be. Okay. You listen here. You make my go for the throats bad because you're just an artifact deck, I will be upset. We make them sack this out of the way, and then we'll plus, and we'll hold back the Tenacious Underdog next turn to block whatever they play on turn 3 if they don't just remove Liliana straight up. Or we can attack and then play the Preacher and then plus, and then maybe make them sack another creature. You're unsure. Steel Seraph. Okay, well, I can't hold back and block on that. Cut down doesn't do it. I'm getting schemaz, dude. Help. Let us attack here. I feel like there's no blocks incoming. I don't think that would make any sense. Plus Liliana, we'll get rid of a mountain. See what they get rid of. Daring discovery. Untap 3 target creatures. Can't block this turn. Okay, so they are discovering a way. Does discover work with prototype? I doubt it, right? It's like no way. No. No, it doesn't. Okay, that's 5/5 lifelink, trample, indestructible, haste. Sure. I mean, are you killing the Liliana or not? Yep, that makes sense. The only real issue is I'm still going to swing my Death Toucher at him. And my life total is higher, so I'm going to draw a card. I'd like to block this, and so be it. Then we'll see if they want to play another land here. A Takenuma cycle for 4. This would only reduce it by 1, so it wouldn't work. We could play a second Preacher if we wanted to, but I think I want to get this Liliana back. I'm hoping their turn is land, play this again, attack me, I buy back Liliana with this, and then I play it and I make them sack the Steel Seraph. Ah, that sucks. Okay. Vigilance is probably it, plus lifelink. Hit me for 5. Yep. Yep. What's in here? Panel. Like no land from them. Now let's argument, do we play Liliana or Appraiser? I think it's still Liliana. Yeah, because we can just still remove one. They'll still have a 5/5.
A fight? And you think you can?
And we just continue to attack with our 2/4 Death Toucher. To keep working their life total down. Again, flying is a little hard for us to kind of comprehend and deal with. A tap land. We really want to turn where this is kind of their play, I think. Okay, we got it. It's 7/7. Take half our life total. They want. Now we just need a way to remove this Steel Seraph. Well, you're not gonna do it. We're gonna hit Liliana here, chat. It's fine. Oh, we hit a Gix. If there is a way to find out how many counters is put on, put 2, so I can go up to 9. Attack here. Fine. Block the underdog. That makes sense. It doesn't have lifelink anymore, so we might as well do it. I think we have to. Land to play Blood Type Harvester. I've played so many games, I forgot Blood Type Harvester was even in our deck. So that's cool. We're digging for the Lily or like just something to interact here. Just 9/9 Vigilance lifelink. You have to kind of be somewhat careful. We do have a lot coming back the other way, but I just don't know if it'll ever be enough here. Fraser. I hate it so much, dude. A put in hand. So unfortunate, right? Because I don't think we have a chance now. I mean, we have to just draw 3 cards with Gix. And then hope it's like Liliana, I guess. A land plus Lily? I don't think I played a land. I might have. I didn't keep track. It's something to keep track of, and I just didn't do it. We are at what? 6? Take action. Take action. Take action. Take action. Take action. couldn't have given me that card at a worse time, dude. No way. No shot. They gave me the Infernal Grasp at when I went to 1. Oh no. That's tough. That is tough. I don't think there's anything in the deck that I can draw here. Man, that's tough. That's so cringe. Okay, go first. We keep double removal into a Gix that can hopefully then draw some cards. Hopefully our removal is relevant. If it's not, that sucks. Our removal is relevant, but not really what I want to hit it with. We'll play another land. We'll pass. See, that's more like it. That's a card I don't like. You have something? I would say it's that or Arena crashed. Wouldn't be surprised by that at all. Arena crashing? No way. Alright, we'll move the Scamp. We'll take one more. Do it now also why they don't have a red, so we don't have to worry about the monsters raging it and then taking like 4 from it. Let's play land. Let's play Gix. Apparently we're going to flood at the same time, so we need to play something that could potentially draw some cards here. You can block. Maybe they do something. Response. They most likely just have removal anyway. Okay. Our 1-drop deck is playing Virtue. Sick. You might be able to get to it at some point, but maybe it's just to gain life. Does seem wild though. Hey, we got him back. Look at that. Cut down for Appraiser. That was coming. Have another Virtue. So gross. Camper. Sure. Aldrin. Okay. Sure. I'll go to combat. I will attack. Trying to do a little trick here. Okay, maybe I'm not trying to do a trick. Sure. Play Preacher here, and when they activate the Cauldron and target the Scamper, we'll Infernal Grasp it. Just get all the creatures off the board. Know where that'll go. And then they can deal 1 damage to something if they'd like. It'll be me. Took 2 from the Infernal Grasp, so that's a total of 3. They have a way higher life total than us. Thrill Seeker, I feel like would have to be the grab, but they can grab something else and then exile the Thrill Seeker under Cauldron. Sure. Scurry, buckaroo. This one? Not like thrilled to see all those blood type or childrens go by, but what it is. You can activate your Soul Cauldron at any point. Please stop highlighting it. Just keep highlighting their Soul Cauldron. It's really funny. Sure. Sure. Would indeed like to draw a card. Would indeed like to draw a card. If I'm dead from here, I'm dead from here. Play another Blood Type Harvester. The reason Blood Type Harvester is really sick here is we can actually -1 to the Scamper, and then its power and toughness would be less in this, so they actually won't do any damage at all, I believe. Power, yeah. So these blood type harvester minuses will actually give this no power and toughness. So we'll do that now. They can pay 1 to sack it if they want, and just like ping something out of the way if they'd like. But I don't really care that much. Sure. Okay. Are you taking out my Gix? Nah, this is -4/-4. That's fine with me. Wait, what? Oh, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Because they get it for the Scorcher, the Scamp dying, but they also get it for the Thriller trigger as well. Now we're going to combat. I'm going to attack for 6. Another 1/1. Your removal. So sick. Alright. A couple bonks. I want it to be known, this is kind of the idea with the Virtue, by the way, that I was talking about, where I feel like the Virtue's not really doing anything. I guess we'll take the Cauldron. And we'll play Shieldred. Cauldron, not the worst thing to put under the bat, because like it gives them no, like if they remove it, they have no incentive to remove the bat now. They play land. That's why like I was like, the Virtue seems weird, because if you're playing this low to the ground like Thurley deck, like when is Virtue going to get you there? They had a lot of removal as well, for like, I mean arguably a lot of removal. Maybe they didn't have that much, but seems weird. I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know what the deck list actually is. I don't know if they have higher cost stuff. They're just not getting to it or whatnot. But okay, one goes first. I mean, we have removal. We have a nice 3-drop. We have the Shieldred if we draw a 4th land. I feel like everything's kind of working out well. Well, there's a human followed by a Thalia followed by an Adeline, and I'm on the draw, so it's probably going to be tough games for us here. Okay, then we play this. Hope it can block, maybe. If not, get put under a Brutal Cathar, and then we cry. Even though we can remove the Brutal Cathar, but then the Thalia attack's still being applied. A lot of bad stuff. Adeline, okay. Will they attack? Because I will block. Maybe. Blocking's a little weird. I could just also sack the Blood type Harvester now. Like, the argument here is Hopeful Initiate better than just removing the Thalia? I think removing the Thalia is actually a nicer play for us. Then we can go for the throw to Adeline when they try to go to combat next turn, and then pick up this Hopeful Initiate with our Virtue later. Yeah, I like that play. We take a little bit more damage here though to do so. Second Blood type Harvester is a very nice play, but I can also hold this, I guess. Have it be kind of obnoxious. I kind of like that play even more. Because then I can still... do I like that play more? Yeah, because it opens up the window for them to play a Thalia, I guess. I'm just going to wait. See kind of what happens here. Go to combat, so now we remove the Adeline. See what they want to do. These won't get any bigger, so they're not necessarily a concern. They don't really follow up with another creature. We can always block and then play Liliana, or we can stack, removing one of these and maybe killing Liliana. I already played in Nganjo. Just to give the opportunity. Just make it maybe a potential play for Liliana to be good here. I say I doubt it, but I mean, play nevertheless, I suppose. No land draw. Dude, my voice is dying. I don't know if you guys can tell. I want to Virtue something, but I don't want to turn this on. I think the play is kind of similar, where I just play like, I don't know. That's a weird game where I don't hit a land, so it's kind of frustrating. So I'm gonna play a Gix instead. Gix is big enough to just block Thalia. And of course, here comes an Adeline falling down the pipeline that I'm probably not gonna be able to remove anytime soon. Attack with that, 'cause it's the only attack that makes sense. They make a 1/1. I block the 1/1 to keep my Gix around. Make their attacks awkward. They hit another land. They don't play a creature, so that's kind of nice. A little part of me is just like, I think I should just play a Shieldred here. They haven't shown a Get Lost yet. That doesn't mean they don't have it, because they wouldn't have the mana to do this. But I think in that chance of potentially attacking for 5, I would probably Get Lost this and then maybe play an Adeline after when the board is empty, but I could be wrong. So, because Virtue is so expensive, I'm going to play a Shieldred. I'm going to hope this can kind of hold. And we get kind of right through it. There would have been more of a pause there, I think, if they drew the Get Lost. But here, now, like, Adeline attacking, I can block it, and I can have Gix block as well. If we draw a land, we could Virtue the Thalia, and then play a Blood Tithe Harvester. This can't attack at all. Like, kind of holding this Extraction Specialist back is, like, it's not the best, because, of course, if we remove the Specialist, the 1/2 is significantly smaller. Definitely a situation where we've taken a lot more damage to kind of work around this, I think, and maybe needed to, but we'll see. Also, Nganjo is not enough to remove Shieldred. Some of these decks do play multiple copies of Nganjo, especially in best of one. It's just sometimes worth it to have, like, for example, Nganjo's 1 mana here for them. It's just so good. They attack. Plan will be Gix block Thalia, Shieldred block Adeline, take an additional 3, and then there's their attacks. Block and block. Know what my blocks are. They're down to 6. Just follow up with an additional Adeline. Another Thalia. Okay. Land. Sure. You make it awkward. I can play another Blood Tithe Harvester, which I can then I can also play Liliana and minus. I'll just get rid of this, and then I'm kind of on the back foot. I can play Blood Tithe Harvester, trade around, do whatever. Bound to draw something nice. I can also Virtue the Extraction Specialist and give them really no good attack, I guess. Yeah, so land, Specialist, Blood Tithe Harvester, pass, I guess. Now Blood Tithe Harvester can actually sack itself and remove an Adeline. What a good draw, Jesus. Let's go on with Thalia, because why would it go on anything else? I mean, attack, they scry. It'll probably be a keep on top, because I can't imagine it's more lands. It could be, but I can't imagine so. I double block here. They'll kill the Gix, and then the Blood Tithe Harvester will be around, I imagine. Unless they had the foresight to only kill my Harvester and let the Gix go, hoping I have another Gix in hand. Maybe their argument would be Gix is what can draw me out of this game, so they'll actually remove it. Well, they have the foresight. They do. Stuff. Good stuff. I'll never be upset about an opponent making a nice play like that. Good foresight. And I'm going to let this land go, I think. We'll take a little gander here. We find a Preacher, which is incredible. Like a really nice draw here. Because it's just such a large, like, got such a big booty on it. So we'll play it, and we'll just hold. I don't know if this Liliana will ever get value, but it might. We'll most likely sack this blood token and pitch the Gix if our Gix is gone here. Depending on what they have. Preacher's also really nice because it can jump in front of an Adeline. Best part about playing against mono white in comparison to Boros is they have less copies of an Adeline type effect, like where Packle is really good. The red, white, and one that makes gnomes. All right, You can plus put it on here. Maybe they'll put it on the 1/1 token in attack to maybe get a scry off. Because they're in top deck mode. I still have 2 cards. I didn't play a land, so it is kind of a concern. I would have to imagine. This attacks. I mean, my Preacher's jumping in front either way, regardless. You play a Foundry. That is something I do have to be concerned with. Back here. We'll let this Gix go. They're just getting their Preacher value while they can. Liliana. Very nice. Okay. We found the good card. Good cards only, please. Here's the Dracosaur, a 5/5 first striking flyer. That can kill pretty much everything in their deck. At some point, I kind of want to just attack with this Preacher. I do get to make a 1/1 on the back end. So I'll have blocks, and I want them to kind of thin out their creatures, so when I do find lands here, I can play double Liliana. But if they also double block, I'll just assign 1 and 1 and take out most of their creatures. You have to worry about Extraction Specialist draw, where they can get the Spellvender back, but I think most likely they just take the 2, and then I make my thing here. Is drawing 1 bad? I don't necessarily think so. I have block, I have block, I have block, and I take 1 worst case scenario. I think maybe this gets removed and I have blocks. And then I'm gonna want the card. Yeah, go for the throw. It's pretty nice. Now we're just kind of holding. That was their argument, I think, on this attack, is maybe they should have blocked so I don't draw. Me being at 8, it's kind of tough. Did you finally find a Get Lost? Get Lost is, or Ossification, I guess. But I think most decks went to Get Lost because instant speed removal is better than sorcery, especially an enchantment that can be removed later potentially, instead of a like spell that just gets rid of it permanently. But if this made it through 1 turn cycle, there's like, in my mind, there's like 0 chance that they're winning this game anymore. Because we're going to not only put 2 cards in exile, we're going to also draw a card. That's 3 cards. We just need 1 land, and even if we hit non-land cards, we make a 3/1 Dino in the back end. And now we're just like producing a ton of creatures. We have a go for the throw. We have Liliana, so we get to make them sack 2 things. They might bring up the Foundry to sacrifice, but who knows? We end up taking that game very nicely, so follow it. All right, let's talk about the deck. So we didn't drop Golgari. Listen here, Golgari is my favorite, so we did not drop it. We tried Rakdos. I've seen a couple of these lists going around, and then my buddy said, hey, I found a cool Rakdos list. Like, I actually found a 75 for it. So it's technically the list is supposed to be played in best of 3, but I played it best of 1 with no changes because the list was doing well like this. So I wanted to try it out the way it was and see what we can kind of do. The main problem is we have no artifact removal, and that is the downside of Rakdos just in general. We don't get a card like Terra Sunder that we can kind of rely on, or like Nissa that we can put in a deck that can remove artifacts. And even our sideboard here, besides the Anointed with Affliction, exile that creature instead, but it's only a creature, can't really do it. Whip is for like the kind of Cauldron decks and things like that. Brotherhood and could remove it, and maybe like in our best of 1 matches we're supposed to kind of slot these in to help us out with that, but as of right now we have no way to do it in the main, so that is definitely a concern for us. But outside of that, when we're not playing artifact decks, we're pretty solid. If they are submitting creatures, we play a lot of spot up removal. We do have an answer to some artifact creatures, but we drew it late in one of our games, which kind of sucks. But it is what it is, how the game works. Sometimes you'll draw it, sometimes you won't. But we have the Shielders that are great, the Appraiser that's really nice. I think Appraiser gets a little bit downgraded from what it was doing in Pioneer and to Standard. Obviously, it's banned in Pioneer now. But I think the value that it can provide in a lot of spots is really nice, especially on the fact that it's not Cascade where you're forced to cast a spell or it goes on the bottom shuffled with the cards. Instead, we can just put it in our hand. So it's worst case scenario 4 mana draw a card along with putting a 3/2 body in play. But as we could see in a couple of those games, we spent 4 mana and then it gave us 7 mana in total of value in terms of putting a Gix into play after our Gix just got removed. So we were just like, Alright, for 4 mana, here's a 3-2 and a 3-3. I think most people would take that rate, especially with what Gix provides in attacking opportunities. And Appraiser is a 3-2, so it can kind of trade up a little bit. So it's not necessarily the easiest block sometimes. Especially when we have things like our removal to get it through and get those damage marks in to get Gix moving forward. Outside of that, we also play the 4 stack of the Preacher instead of being like in Golgari where we're like 3, maybe 2, because we have to play Glissa and like all these other cards that are really nice. But outside of that, I enjoyed the list. I think I played a couple of games that went very well for us. I played a couple that were pretty unfortunate. For example, us talking about not having artifact removal. We played against Mono Red that played 2 of the Phyrexian artifact producer that makes like an X1 that has trample. They played one on turn 3 and then they played a second one on turn 4, and I have no artifact removal, so we just automatically lose that game. And then I played against a Boros deck that was revolved around the artifact creatures that have prototype on it, and I just can't remove those artifacts, so we end up losing that game as well. So we had 2 games where it felt pretty much like this is the matchup we wanted, but they played creatures that kind of countered us. It is what it is, but outside of that, I enjoyed playing the deck. I hope you all enjoyed watching, and I'll catch you later in the next video. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.